Another terrible loss by the Washington Commanders. They just lost 21-17 to the Tennessee Titans in a very winnable game. If you guys are new, just subscribe. It's my birthday. All I wanted was the Commanders win, but I'll settle for if you guys just hit that subscribe button. It's free, and hit that like button. Help me out on my birthday, man. This is not going good, man. But yeah, terrible loss, and I think there are guys you can blame, but I don't think you should be blaming Scott Turner. I don't think you should be blaming Jack Del Rio. I don't think you should be blaming specific players. In my opinion, this game is on Ron Rivera. The amount of clock management issues he had in this game, that is what lost them this game. And them being undisciplined, which is also on him. And then if you want to blame some of the players, well, guess who's in charge of that too? Ron Rivera. Yeah, I'm done with him. I've been done with him, but this made it so much worse, because you could have made the excuse, he's an okay coach, he's a terrible evaluator. Well, we saw what happened today. Awful clock management skills, challenging time, just everything about it was terrible today. So before we get into the stats and everything about the game, let me just get into the amount of things he botched. So I'm sure there was other things in the first half, but right when the first half was, getting, close to over, the Titans got a 1st and goal, and I think there was 1 minute and 40 seconds left, 1 minute, probably close to 2 minutes, honestly. A little bit under 2 minutes left in the game. It was definitely after the 2-minute warning, and Ron Rivera doesn't call a timeout. There's no reason to not call a timeout, because they're running the ball, and they're going to keep running the ball and, waste time. So he doesn't call a timeout on 1st and goal. And then for some reason he calls it on 2nd and goal, and then he doesn't call it on 3rd and goal, and it's just really frustrating, because they could have had the ball so they were down by 4 at the end of the second half. They could have the ball with 1 minute and 20 seconds at the end of the first half, and who knows? Joey Sly kicked a 50-yard field goal. They could have went 30 yards, 35 yards, and gotten into field goal range and gotten a field goal. And if they would have done that, then the Commanders on that last drive would have just needed a field goal to win the game. That's Ron Rivera, clock management miss number 1. And then, he does a terrible challenge. He challenged it was a great play by Cam Sims. Do not get me wrong. It was a great play by Cam Sims, but even live, I knew it. I knew it was incomplete. And then you see one replay and you're like, that's 100% incomplete. And even if it was maybe you thought it was 40, 50% chance it's incomplete, you need to be 75, 80% sure, because they're not going to overturn it on the field if it was called an incomplete. So not only did it was just a waste, because it was 3rd and 1 anyways, you also waste a challenge. You waste a challenge. You don't have any left in the half, and you waste a timeout, which was very much needed at the end of the game. So that's the second big thing he did. He called another timeout during that drive, and it was, first of all, it was a 1-yard pass to Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel doesn't get out of bounds. It was a good play by the Titans, but also Curtis Samuel, you got to get out. And Curtis Samuel, then he lets Curtis Samuel jog and give the ball to the official, and he loses 6 or 7 seconds, and then calls a timeout. What are you doing? If you're gonna call a timeout, call it right when the play is over. If you're not, then just go quick and call another play. Do not waste 7 seconds of time. Again, if they had 7 seconds, because I believe the Terry McLaurin pass, or the pass interference, happened about 19 seconds left. So if they had 27 seconds or 26 seconds left, they could have ran the ball on 1st down and had enough time and spiked it and had enough time to run 2 more plays easily. But of course, that's another Ron Rivera miscue. It just, and if they had, so if they didn't waste those timeouts, they would have had 1 timeout at the 2-yard line, and you could have ran the ball, because it's just really hard at the 2. Because here's the thing, not only could you didn't have any timeouts, but you not having timeouts makes it so predictable to what you're going to do, because you can't run the ball. Because if you had a timeout, now it makes it, because the D linemen were dropping into coverage. So now they can't really do that because you could just run the ball, and also you could, so there's a threat of the run game, which hurts you. And also, you could just run the ball with Brian Robinson or Gibson, who, they weren't great today, but they were able to get 1-2 yard gains all the time. So Ron Rivera lost us this game. I don't want to put it on anyone else. Once on that last drive, was he good? Not at all. All of those probably could have been intercepted, but he had to force things because they only could pass the ball, and the Titans absolutely knew it. It's just so frustrating, man. A very winnable game, and Ron Rivera single-handedly cost us this game. He did. His, again, the first half, misuse of timeouts probably cost them 3 points, to be honest. 3, maybe more. Maybe they would have scored a touchdown, but let's say 3 to be safe. I think 1 minute and 20 seconds, 1 minute 30, you can score. Also, one thing, Scott Turner wasn't great in this game. He also, there was so many holes that were not getting called, and man, okay, you want to blame one other person for this loss? Nick Martin is a bum. Get him out of here. It's one thing to just have low snaps all game like Wes Schweitzer did, the week he played, I think it was week 3. But what Nick Martin did was atrocious. 2 or 3 snaps that were just terrible. On the ground, Wentz actually saved us a couple times. That was awful. He had a hands to the face. He had a false start. He sucked. Andrew Norwell wasn't good either. Penalties, and I think he had something else as well, and was getting bulldozed all game. He wasn't good. Nick Martin was the worst player on the team today. Tyler Larson needs to be the starting center next week. But again, it's on Ron Rivera. He built this team. He's the coach. He's the one that misused the challenge, misused the timeouts in the first half, called the timeouts too late. And one criticism I do have of Scott Turner, it was 2nd and 1. They threw the ball. 3rd and 1, threw the ball. Come on. You just need 1 yard. Run the ball. It's 1 yard. You're going to get it. If you don't get it on 2nd down, you're going to get it on 3rd down. And if you don't get it on 3rd down, you're definitely getting it on 4th down. 3 tries to get 1 yard. That's like a 95% success rate. That's what you're going for. And that's partly why they had to use a challenge. Let's get into Wentz. I thought Wentz overall had a really good game. 25 for 38, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that bad interception at the end. Again, though, it's an understandable interception. It's on Ron Rivera for making the Titans know what they're doing. They had, no space to run routes. At the 2-yard line, a pat, it just sucks. They know you're not running, and everyone was covered, basically, and he almost threw an interception on every play that drive. So, but he had some really nice passes to Dyami Brown, some other good passes as well, avoiding pressure. Sometimes still has to get it out early. There was a few times, though, where he missed guys. Cole Turner was open a lot of times, either got batted down or Wentz just missed him. On the 4th down play call earlier in the game, Cole Turner, I'm going to have to watch it back, see if I can watch it back. But Cole Turner looked like he got a good release, off the line of scrimmage and was open. Or at least, definitely would have been a 50-50 ball at worst, but probably he would have been able to make the catch. So that was a play where Wentz probably should have, went to Cole Turner. But overall, he had a solid game today. He is definitely not the reason we lost this game. Brian Robinson, amazing story that he's back. Great and everything. Our run game wasn't great today. He had 9 carries, 22 yards, 2.4 yards per carry. Run game wasn't good. They got some good, D linemen, and we don't have a good offensive line. And Brian Robinson obviously still getting, used to things. So I'm sure he'll have better games in the future. Wentz had a few rushes as well. Dyami Brown, what the heck happened? When I was watching, I was like, what is going on? He's just a go-out machine. Every route he runs is a go-out. Every single one. You could have debated that other one that, should have been called pass interference. It is what it is. I'm not blaming the refs on this game. They were not good. They were not good at all, but, we got the benefit of, the doubt on some calls, like Montez Sweat not taking off his helmet should have been a 15-yard penalty. But Dyami Brown had that great 75-yard catch, had that great 30-yard one-handed touchdown. It was a dime by Carson Wentz, but still, what a game by Dyami Brown, and just shuts up, Amon St. Brown, who is better than Dyami for sure, but I think he had like 2 catches for 5 yards today. So Dyami, I do not like players talking after games. I think it's a bad look, but they're talking trash after games. But Dyami Brown, go ahead, do it, because, yeah, St. Brown, I don't mess with him. Terry had a great game. I see these haters on Twitter all the time. Just shut up. 5 catches, 76 yards, on 6 targets, got held. I think he got held. Once got called. Another where they actually showed the replay. It was an obvious PI. He got hooked in the hip. And there's another one where they did not show it on the broadcast because they don't like to criticize the officials. But it was an obvious, all the media members were saying it's obvious illegal contact. So Terry was good today. So many good plays after the catch. Shout out to Terry McLaurin. I just don't understand why Scott doesn't give him the ball more. Like, don't tell me he's not open, because you can get him open. You can do besides that 34-yard catch, almost all, and he had one other I think that was it. But he, all of his other ones were like short, catches where he ran like 10, 12 yards after the catch. And you can get him on a slant route. You can get him on screens. I need 3, 4, 5 minimum. Yeah, I need 4 to 6 of those minimum, and then 3 to 4 deep shots a game, or intermediate passes. Curtis Samuel's fine, 6 catches, 62 yards. Had a drop on the first possession. You gotta have that. But he had some other good catches as well, and should have gotten out of bounds on that play. It was hard, but should have. John Bates was fine. It was actually pretty good. 3 catches, 39 yards. McKissick 5 for 37. Gibson was solid. But Cam Sims, made a nice catch and then almost made a great catch. And Cole Turner got targeted 3 times, but I thought he was good. Once fumbled 3 times, but yeah, we know why. Okay, and defense, one of the only criticisms I have is you still have only forced 1 turnover through 5 games. That's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. You cannot win forcing 1 turnover. 1 turnover. You can't. You cannot do that. But besides that, Cole Holcomb, I thought he was solid today. He had a nice tackle on Ryan Tannehill and 15 total tackles. Best game so far this year, I think. Montez Sweat was a beast. 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 4 QB hits. Could have been more, though. He could have gotten another sack on Tannehill, but Tannehill made a nice play. And I'm trying to think of what else. He had some bad penalties as well, but Montez Sweat had a good game. Bob McCain cost a touchdown. He had his 62-yard reception. He has not been good this year. He was in position to make the play. Like Fuller, it was zone obviously, and Fuller was covering him originally, but then he went into his zone, and Bob McCain was on him, and then just suddenly just disappears, and the guy makes a good catch. Just terrible, and they scored a touchdown on that play. Jamin Davis, I thought, was good in coverage and had a couple nice tackles. James Smith-Williams was a beast today. 4 QB hits, a sack, a tackle for loss, was good today. Kendall Fuller, honestly didn't see anything bad from him today, so not going to complain too much. He got beat like once or twice, but he was fine. Efe Obada, we'll call it even. He had a sack, but he also had a roughing the passer, which helped them, I believe, on that drive get a touchdown, so he's got to be better. He's got to be more disciplined. And I think, if I remember correctly, the sack, I think there was other guys that were going to be there anyways. Deron Payne was fine. Had to have a sack, a tackle for loss. Cam Curl was a beast like usual. Benjamin St. Juste was good. Jonathan Allen had a half a sack, 2 QB hits. I thought he was probably the second best player on the D-line. I thought he was really good today, especially in that first quarter. Casey Tuill, solid, got a QB hit, also got held. And then Derek Force had some good coverage as well. And Rashad Wildgoose was good. And William Jackson III finally got his butt benched. I'm happy about that. And yeah, defense did enough today. 21 points. And offense didn't help him out on that one drive where the Titans start at the 50 because of a bad Trustway punt. And they, Trustway was punting from his own 10-15. Dax Milne, terrible at kick returns today. I think you got to move to Gibson. And punt returns, I'm fine with it. You're averaging 6 yards a return and you don't fumble. That's fine. Remember what we had before, guys. Steven Sims. As long as he's not fumbling, I'm fine with it. And Joey Sly was good. Trustway, I didn't think was that good today. And yeah, guys, it just sucks, man. This absolutely sucks. This team, I think we saw what this team could be today. This is what I thought they would be. entering the season is like kind of how they were playing today. But Ron Rivera has to mess things up and ruin it. Ron Rivera lost us this game. There's no other way to put it, in my opinion. The clock management really, really killed them. And yeah, it just sucks, guys. It really does. And of course, on my birthday. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace. We got a game on Thursday night, man. And the thing is, if we would have won this game, we could have had a chance of going being 3-on-3 on Thursday. Peace, guys.